Okay, Mike, thanks for being with us today. And I think the obvious first thing we want to know about is Hennessey. Tell us about Hennessey Capital.
Sure. We're a small business finance company, small mid-sized businesses, and one of the things we pride ourselves on is being relationship focused. And our goal in life is to help small business entrepreneurs, young business owners finance their company when they're really post-revenue but pre-bankable. And that means they've launched their company, they have sales in place, but they don't quite fit the traditional profile of the local bank.
What do you mean by relationship focused?
One of the things that we've really started the company on is having our experience and knowledge brought to the small business owner. And when I say that, I mean we're taking our experience as entrepreneurs and business owners and really allowing that to come out when we meet with clients, instructing them, here's a business plan you've written, here's some thoughts on how we would make some changes, or really introducing them to professionals we do business with, which in our world we call it network capital. And that's bringing on partners that can further assist them with their ideas.
Mike, if small businesses or young entrepreneurs can't get traditional banking, can't get money from a bank, they turn to Hennessey Capital.
Well, we have meetings all the time with entrepreneurs who have great ideas and great business plans. And the challenge is, how do we get those into the marketplace and get them doing business with people that can further the development? And I think really in Michigan, we're going to rely on the small business owners to make a difference. And specifically from our standpoint is, how do you take somebody with a great idea, with a commercialized product, and get them the capital they need to really be successful? And we really find that it's not only capital, but it's business experience, advice, strategic planning, business coaching, everything that goes along the lines with just cash.
Yeah, finding capital, that of course is a major part
Sure.
of being successful, but you do have to provide those other services to make this company, your clients, successful.
Right. And I think that's the biggest differentiation between us and the folks that we have in the marketplace that we run up against periodically. We look at capital ourselves and the bank's capital as being the same color. It's all green.
Sure.
But how do we make our client more successful than everybody else? And that's providing them direction and advice in business planning that will make them more successful, and getting them the partners that will continue that process with them on a longer term basis.
Mike, I know that you do a lot of networking, and I know that's very, very important to your business. How do you go about doing that?
From our standpoint, we have 50 years plus of experience in doing business with entrepreneurs to Fortune 500 companies, and we network a lot in the marketplace and show up with our partners, whether it's a CPA firm or an attorney or a consultant, that can really lend some strategic advice to the small business owner at the stage of their life cycle when they really need it.
How important is the networking aspect of your business?
For us, it's phenomenal. I mean, that's what makes a difference between us growing and not. And what we need to do in the marketplace is really be seen as a resource provider. We're not going to be everything to all people as Hennessey Capital. What we want to bring to the market is a source for people to turn to say, I have a financing need. Let's talk to these guys. We may not be able to help them directly with the investment or the capital need, but more than likely or not, we're going to be able to turn them to somebody that can.
Mike, I think this is really important, but what really differentiates you from a bank?
We do a lot of networking, as we mentioned before, with banks. Most of our direct referrals of new prospects and clients come from other banks. And the reason for that is because we complement the traditional banks in town. A company will walk into a traditional bank and they could have some type of criteria that doesn't fit what the bank is looking for. Whether it's being too early, too new in business, not the right track record, whatever the case may be that doesn't fit the bank's credit profile. The bank has phenomenal products that can complement the lending side of it, but the lending side is what's really needed in that situation. So access to capital is the key. We can help provide that access to capital. They can start the banking relationship immediately, and then when that client progresses to meet the credit criteria of that bank, it's an easy handoff between us and the bank.
We're a career show, obviously, and that's why we're here. But it seems to me that while you don't do hiring if you're able to put people in business and help them be successful, you're actually helping to provide jobs and, in essence, building our community and the economy.
Sure, and I think it's our goal is to foster the small and mid-sized business community. And we have numerous stories of companies that have come into us that are very small in size but have great growth potential. And we have numerous stories that we can explain that how companies start with one person and they grow to a staff of 15, 20 people, go from 100,000 a year in sales all the way to 3 million.
Hennessey Capital is here to stay.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
Right. Thank you very much. Len from Walsh College. Len, you head up the Business Leadership Institute at Walsh, and you've certainly hooked up a very interesting relationship with Hennessey Capital. Tell us about it.
Well, as Mike said earlier, they're trying to provide the capital to help businesses get started, but we think most businesses, especially as they're growing, need additional support as their challenges get tougher and tougher as the economy is changing. So we're trying to help promote better leaders and better knowledge of how to run their businesses successfully.
How do you go about doing that in a tough economy? How do you train these people and educate these people to be successful?
Well, there's a couple of key elements to the program. We're, first of all, creating something called Michigan Business Success Stories, where we've searched all over the community for examples of companies and CEOs who are definitely doing things differently than most people around our community. People like Bill Emerson at Quicken Loans, Dave Brandon at Domino's Pizza. And we think those people can show interesting approaches to running businesses, creating strategy, managing people that we hope can inspire some of our emerging business leaders. In addition to that, we have a program called Hot Topics, which provide hands-on workshops to help them gain the specific skills they need to transform their own enterprises.
I noticed that as I was reading about Walsh in this particular program you're talking about, you use the words courageous risk takers. I find that interesting. Define that for us.
Well, we know our economy here is facing many challenges, but in chaos there's always opportunity for those who have faith, have some vision, and have the strength of courage to go forward and try to strike out on their own. And I'm not sure how all the things will unfold here in Michigan, but entrepreneurs have always been the engine that have driven our economy, and we hope it will be the same here in Southeast Michigan.
Len, in today's economy, you've really taken an interesting approach at Walsh College. You call it real-world education. What is that?
Well, Rich, we talked to lots of CEOs and HR directors, and mainly what they told us is our MBA students are not coming with the skills that we need today. They said they know too much theory, but they don't know how to work in teams, they don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to work across departmental boundaries. So we needed to transform our educational approach to give them kind of hands-on experience. 80% of our faculty are adjunct professors who all are working in the real world, so they can bring examples from their own businesses, their own practices into our classrooms.
When did you change that philosophy?
It's continuing to change even as we speak. I mean, our program through the Business Leadership Institute, when we did, for example, the interviews with Dave Brandon, we sent a team of 8 students over to Domino's Farms. They spent a day interviewing Dave and people from his entire organization, and they wrote a case study about that. What a great opportunity for them to learn. And it was an experience they won't forget for a long time.
Well, and that's what you call real-world education.
Absolutely.
This partnership that you have with Hennessey has really proven to be pretty successful, hasn't it?
Well, we think Hennessey is one of those organizations that has some vision, that cares about building a robust economy for ourselves, our neighbors, and our kids. And through their collaboration with us, we've been able to really create this program, and we're excited about where it's headed.
Len, thank you very, very much.
Our pleasure.